Good morning, Senor and Senorita. This message comes to you from the heart of dawn as we travel at warp speed toward the dawn of humanity. That's right. So let's connect your heart to my heart, left side to left side. Your worth to my worth. Allow them to expand, enlarge. Yes. Yeah. That's right. Have that heart of yours get as expansive as can be. Your worth expansive as can be. And your invincibility to grow with that, to expand with that, to explode with that. That's right. There you go. Yeah. Hold that space, hold that energy, hold that vibration. Now send it out to the rest of humanity. That's right. Send that out. Send it out to everybody. Yeah, they all need it. 8 billion. They really, really, really need it. Okay, come on back. There you go. Well, I tell you, I wasn't planning on telling anyone this. I wasn't. I only told a few. When I say a few, I'm talking about 3. Okay, that's all that do about this. 3. What I'm going to say to you today. And I decided, hey, you know what? What the heck? Yeah. And so, yes. So that's what we're doing. So here's what's going on. Okay, that in the September 22nd, which is Wednesday. This Wednesday coming. This is Sunday. We are having a transformation of epic proportions. And the sad news is there's hardly any humans going to be there. The awesome news is every other being other than humans is going to be there for the humans. Yes, that's the awesome. So I'm going to start with a few stories to tell you who's going to be there. You know, for example, in July 2012, I started on my own, taking people through my process. One day it would be all the humans through my process. Yeah, there would be a cast of archangels. There's Raphael and Raziel and Ariel and Michael and I'm sorry, I can't remember them all. And they would get a stadium of humans. And I would take them through the process. My process. And, at first it was like, 100,000, then it went up to 500,000, so on and so forth, a million. And I was doing it every second day because it was just too intense. So let's say on a Monday I would take them through, and I was doing those that passed as well as those that were live. So on the Monday I would do the live, on Wednesday I would do the ones that were passed, on Friday I would do the ones that were live, and then on Sunday I would do the past. And I did that for about 3 weeks, I think, and a friend of Rosie's called one day and said that Dawn and Rosie told her, and she said, Dawn, there's no requirement right now to do those that have passed. Focus on those that are on the planet Earth. So okay, so that's what I did. And I hadn't been telling anybody, and then this one lady one day, I don't know how far in I was, a month or so, and the numbers just started growing. Like I kept, up to 5 million, then 10 million, and then 20 million, and 50 million, and 100 million, and 500 million. Yeah, that's how I was doing it. And this lady called her one morning, just as I had finished. We were up at the ranch up in Stump Lake. And what happened was they were talking, and Rosie told her about what I was doing. I said, Rosie, would you stop telling people what I'm doing? I don't want people to know this stuff. Anyway, this lady said that there's no need to work with the dead. Just focus on those in the alive. And then the other thing she said, you know, there was nothing tangible. There was nothing I could see that would say, oh, well, I went and got an armload of wood and I took it into the house and I put it in the fire and the stove is on. So all of that's very tangible. Well, taking, 500,000 higher selves through the process with all the angels and archangels assisting, it was a little hard to tell if I was just doing this, just this silly little exercise. Anyway, so this lady called and Rosie told her about this. Once again, I scolded Rosie for telling people. And then she said, oh my God, that explains what happened this morning. And Rosie asked her, what was that? And she said, my sister, when she passed, she had such a hatred for me. She wouldn't even say goodbye. She wouldn't even let me embrace her. She wouldn't even let me hug her. She had that much hate and venom in her body, in her system. And this morning she came to me dressed in white, full of just bliss and joy, and gave me a hug. Wow. So that's what Dawn's doing. And then the next thing she said is, oh my goodness, I just saw a big, big opening happen in the sky, way out in the sky. And it's these gigantic beings that just came in to the planetary energy field of humans, humanity. They couldn't do it before, but with the work that Donn's doing, it raised the conscious enough that they could come, and they're here to assist. It's like, wow. So anyway, moving on that, I just kept doing it every second day. And Rosie had signed up to go to Sedona in October to this spiritual event. And I had no intentions of going, it's just not my thing. And she kept pestering me, and finally I said yes. And so I'm still doing this every second day. And I remember on the flight there, that day, I think I did 1.5 billion. So I was up to close to 2 billion. And we got there, and the next morning we're having breakfast with this lady that does this channeling. And I'll tell you about that channeling in a minute. And anyway, we were talking at breakfast, and Rosie told her, along with the rest of the table, she said, Dawn, I have a message for you from the other side. And I said, yeah, and what's that? You're going too slow. You need to up the ante. You need to do more of the time. Oh, okay. So I ended up finishing it off in Sedona, finishing all 7 billion off. But that lady, about 3 years before, she was the first person I did a channeling for the first time, and it was her that I did it with. And the channeling is with Sadat Kamara. And I didn't even know how to pronounce his name. Never heard of the man before, the being before. Didn't know how to pronounce it. There was 5 of us in the room, and I got a chance to ask questions. But I looked him up the night before, and I read all about him, and I read all the names that they used to describe him. And so we got there, I had these questions for him. I want all these answers. I wasn't just sitting there listening. I wanted answers that were personal to me. So anyway, whoops, the ocean's coming right up here, right up to my feet. And so the first, I just out with this, what I was saying, and he said, so Dawn, you want it all, do you? I said, well, didn't know that's that, but if that's what I'm asking for, I guess that's what it is. I want it all. He said, well, it's about time. It's about time someone asked for it all. And then the next thing. I kept going and asking and all of this, and then I said this and this and this and this. And he said, so Dawn, you want my job? I said, well, I didn't know I was asking for your job, Sanath. But if that's what I'm asking for, I guess that's what I'm asking for. He said, well, how be we do this together? So let me tell you, Sanat's going to be there, as well as Metatron and Raphael and the Great Brotherhood and on and on and on. All of those beings, all of those divine beings are going to be there. Let's go back now to this here event that we were in Sedona. So while we were up at the ranch, and this one night I went to bed late, and Rosie said, you were up late, what'd you do? I said, oh, I signed up for a program. What program is that? Well, this Dr. Stephen Greer has got this program in Borrego Springs, California in November. And to spend time with extraterrestrials, and I'm going to. Well, you're not going to that by yourself. And so she signed up too, and away we went in November to Borrego Springs. And I'm thinking, yeah, whatever, you know? And it'd be good to just see what happens. And so away we went, and we showed up on the Monday afternoon at 2 o'clock, and met Dr. Greer, and it was a big old house, and everybody sat around the circle, and Dr. Greer was there with his key. And I always sat 2 seats to the right of Dr. Greer. I did that every single day. And he was telling about what to expect that night, and that we would be meeting at 8 o'clock, and we would go out till 1 or 2 in the morning. And, you know, we'll be connecting and all of that. So that's what we did. And on that first night, and I'm thinking, yeah, right. Everybody's talking about this big spaceship that was just above their heads, and, you know, the extraterrestrials and all of that. I didn't see them. Anyway, so I was pretty skeptical, to say the least. The next morning, I saw this blue line and a red line, and about 3 inches wide and about 6 inches long, and there was 2 of them on a 45-degree angle. And anyway, that was the first thing that started, and I just proceeded, and what happened was, that was their first connection to me. And let me tell you, it was never less than 2, sometimes 3, and as high as 5 times that they would come to see me every single day, these extraterrestrials. And it was absolutely crazy, stunning what took place. It's beyond human, there's not 1 ounce of human comprehension to what took place. And let me tell you, every single one of those billions that visited me, that I interacted with, are not only going to be there, but everyone that they reached out to. You know, it's kind of like, every once in a while, like Jim Balsley, when he took my process, he sent me 101 people. 101. That's right. So using that as an example, what these did, every single one that I met, they sent out an invitation to their civilization. That's who's going to show up. That's how many's going to be. The numbers are too big for humanity to comprehend. That's all taking place on Wednesday, and it's all for the benefit of the whole multiverse. Not just humans, but the multiverse. That is what is happening on Wednesday, September 22nd at 4 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. May I suggest you do everything you can to be on that call, so you will at least have an awareness of what's going to happen to you, what happened for the multiverses. Yeah, it's not just humans like I thought. I thought it was just for humans, and I was so disappointed at such a lackluster interest in what I was saying, what I was talking about, what I was saying I was going to do. And if it had to be up to humans, we'd be at 150. 150 people. Thank goodness it's not left up to humans. You know, and once again, what Dr. Greer said in the Cosmic Hoax at the end, he said, there's 3 things. One is humanity is too far gone to help itself. Check. Got that one taken care of. They need to reach enlightenment. I've got that one taken care of. Enlightenment 700. I'm taking all of humanity to 700 and above. And then he said that it needs to be the multiverses that it affects. Check. That happened about 3 weeks earlier. So I've got all three that Dr. Greer said is needed for humanity to shift. And I had them without even him telling me that. I didn't even know about that. So, welcome to the party. I trust that you will do everything you can to have everyone you know sign up before Wednesday to be there personally for this grand event that's happening, that is spreading through all the multiverses. Yes, including humans. Yes, taking the humans with us. Yeah, that's the great news. That's the awesome news. So there you have it. You have yourself a magnificent day. You can find this information out on IamDivinityGlobal.com and transformwithdonn.com, Donn with 2 N's. That's how you're going to find out. So there you have it. See you on Wednesday, if not before. Bye-bye.